Welcome to Matthew Crandall Reviews. Today I'm taking a look at the brand new Steven Spielberg, Tom Hanks flick, Bridge of Spies. Set in the height of the Cold War, it stars Tom Hanks as James Donovan, this lawyer who has to represent a captured Russian spy, Rudolph Abel, and he represents him in court, and then the U.S. gets one of their pilots captured. This guy named Powers gets captured, and Tom Hanks has to negotiate his release to trade Abel for Powers and this other thing that goes on. So it's basically an exchange, a spy exchange, espionage kind of movie. But Tom Hanks is playing just an everyman who's not part of the CIA, is just an individual who's a lawyer who gets caught up in this game of spy. Beautiful cinematography by Janusz Kaminski, as per usual. Tons of smoke and the shadow and light. Fascinating. Spielberg is still at the top of his game when it comes to camera movement, framing, and motivation. You just sit back and watch as just a dialogue scene is unfolding, and Tom Hanks is talking and the camera slowly pushing in as Alan Alda gives a big line. So classic Spielberg. This is most notable because John Williams was too busy with Star Wars to be able to do the score. So the score here is by Thomas Newman, and it's fine. It's not anything special. It sounds like Newman-esque, trying to do John Williams light. Like, it still feels like a Spielberg movie with the music, but I wasn't necessarily blown away. Tom Hanks is Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is great. This movie is very deliberately paced. It's much more of a movie about dialogue, wits, whether you can trust someone or not, paranoia of the Cold War. Really sharp dialogue by the Coen brothers and another screenwriter, so that worked for me. And the performances were all good, but it was a movie that at 2 hours and 20 minutes, I felt this was a story we could actually probably pull off in about 90. So it's rare for me to be checking my watch and be a little bit bored during a Spielberg movie, but I'm going to be honest with you, I might be the only one, because the critics are loving Bridge of Spies, but I found it a little bit slow. It's not something that I'm mad that I saw. I actually really enjoyed it, but I probably won't revisit it. It's not something that to me has a lot of rewatch value. I will say that Mark Rylance as the convicted Russian spy is fantastic. He's got some of the best lines of the movie. Just a tremendous performance. And the whole time it feels like Spielberg, and you got Hanks there, so I feel like it should work better than it does. The whole time Hanks is doing these backdoor negotiations, we've got some snappy dialogue scenes and some interesting stuff going on, but I never felt the tension. I never felt that edge of your seat unease that this movie is making a lot of other people feel. So it could just be me. I don't know. I would say Bridge of Spies is definitely lesser Spielberg. I really can't wait to see him return to that bigger blockbuster fare with the BFG and Ready Player One, which I hope will live up to the novel, although it sounds like he's making a lot of changes, so I'm not quite sure. Bridge of Spies is a movie that sounds horrible because when I was watching it, I just kept thinking old people are going to love the hell out of this movie because they aren't going to be bothered by the leisurely pace, and it just really seems to play to an older audience. And even when I saw it, the next youngest person in the theater was like 50. So I think it's a movie that's going to play really well with the older crowd. I loved it technically. I thought it looked fantastic, but I was a little bit bored and not as impressed as I was hoping to be. So if you saw Bridge of Spies and you loved it or you hated it, hit the comments, let me know. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and thanks a lot for watching.